Welcome to the Lo-Fi High Inspire Work Your Way Vodcast, a collection of interviews from people all over the world who are living a little and a lot outside the box so that they can work their way in the hope that it inspires you to find ways to work your way. So we're here in the co-working space in Tulum in Mexico of the guest house that is particularly set up for digital nomads. So this is the kind of co-working space we have in this space, and I have found another co-worker and a person who's been working here. So this is Serena, and
Hello.
She's from Canada.
Yes,
And
Waterloo.
has kind of came out here. So you said you arrived here sort of 3 weeks ago with a plan to stay for 2, and you now extended it to 6.
Yes.
Is this the first time you've done a remote working?
No, I have done it in November, but it was my first trial, and I went on Isla Mujeres.
Where did you go?
Isla Mujeres is Mexico as
Oh,
well,
okay,
but
so you
on
was
an
in
island,
Mexico.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I was thinking being on an island is going to be remote and it's going to be quiet, but it was like quite a party hotel.
Oh, okay.
But the setting was wonderful. It was right on the beach, and you could work there, but the music was really loud. But it worked. Finally, I stayed there for a month actually.
How was the internet?
The connection wasn't that reliable.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't even go there anymore. But
How did you manage that when the connection was, because I mean a lot of people in order to pull this off
Yeah.
need internet. So what do you do like in those moments where the connection is not great? Have you got a backup plan?
The backup plan was to go back to go back to Canada, because I got just one way. That was my first trial, so I told my boss that I might have to spend a day coming back if it's not working. But it was slower. I had to do some tasks like twice, but because it was before Christmas, I wasn't that busy, so it was working. It wasn't that it wasn't working at all, but it had periods when it was just interrupted. It was very risky because it was an island, and sometimes when it storms, it just it's not just for one single location. It will take it from like the internet,
the whole
from
area.
Yeah, but it's easy from Isla Mujeres. I knew it's just half an hour ferry, and I could have found like a hostel in Cancun. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always, Cancun is very safe in terms of
Reliable internet.
reliable. And for this one, I asked
Yeah.
before, so I contacted the manager, and then I told him I want to work.
Yeah.
And I knew they have a co-working area, and now most of the hostel they do, so they try to
So
design.
you're noticing it's becoming more common, that the hostels are actually setting themselves up to enable people to work remotely.
And they specify, they have high speed internet, and sometimes they do specify the speed of the internet, because some people, they need a different speed for conferences and for
the work they're doing. So what kind of work are you doing?
So I'm doing mostly IT and database administration. Lots of actually Airbnb. I was looking for most of them. They specify now they have a separate field that they have a co-working area. So it's something that it's very desirable for everybody, and it's good for them because they get the long-term travelers for this. So yeah.
Why did you choose somewhere a bit more communal, like here? Because this is a so just to explain the setup of this guest house, and I'll link in the notes to the guest house if anyone's here. It's a beautiful place to be, but it has got a combination of like single rooms and dorms, and like probably at any given time, like maybe could there be, how many people here do you think? Like 30?
In the office?
Oh, in the staying here?
Yeah, probably 30, but we don't see it because most of probably only like 10% are working. The rest are travelers for now. And this office, I think just one day it got really busy. Like
Yeah.
we're like probably 10 of us.
Oh, wow.
But mostly, yeah, we can spread out, and we have a couch, and actually downstairs there is an area you can work.
What did you find most kind of when there was like the 10 people working here? What kind of businesses were they all? Was there?
Lots of them, they are developers. So
Okay.
most of the young generation, they develop apps. So I can
Okay.
hear. So you can.
Okay.
You learn a lot because
Yeah.
everybody's telling their own stories, and you learn
Yeah.
a lot, and you get the idea of. We had one that said, "Oh, I want to change my job. I want to do this." She was
Yeah.
like, she wasn't working, but she was talking to us, and she had like a job going into in the office, and she said, "Oh, for sure, I have to, to
Yeah.
find something to." And two of them, they were teachers, and actually they took some courses, so they learned how to develop apps.
Oh, wow.
And one was the violin teacher, and she was like developing apps, and then actually 1 hour she was like standing up and playing violin,
so
and she was teaching as well violin.
Okay, so that is relevant to a lot of my clients who
Yeah.
say are working in creative industries.
Yeah.
So she was able to teach violin remotely
Yes.
using an
And
app technology.
Yeah, she had her own technology, and she had a
Keep you in there.
violin. She had a
Cozy
violin,
in.
and it was very fun because everybody stopped and watched her.
Oh, wow.
And it was like for a kid, for like
Yeah.
a 6 years old. But yeah, it's doable. And
Okay,
she
so like
said,
even
yeah,
with something
yeah,
like
yeah.
a creative,
Yeah.
like teaching.
Exactly.
And why did you choose to be somewhere like? What was that like? That kind of communal energy when there was more like? Is that your like you said, you could have got an Airbnb where you're just on your own.
Oh no, yeah.
But you chose to be somewhere where there was like other
A community,
people
and you learn a lot from you learn from everybody's story. They travel, and it's quite fun. And we have our quiet time. Like most of the time we work, but then when somebody is mentioning something funny,
Yeah.
or we take a break, and then during the night we go out together,
Yeah.
or we just stay here watching TV, or it's a very, and everybody's from all over the world,
Yeah.
so it's a very cultural exchange as
Yeah.
well. So and you meet people from different profession, different age groups. We met very young people. We met one older guy. He was like teaching English actually, and he was retired.
Okay.
So he was just teaching English few hours per day to kind of add to. So yeah, it's interesting. You can plan. You get all kinds of ideas just in case you need to be more flexible.
And I think that for a lot of my clients who are in creative, particularly the ones that are creatives, I mean, there's actually a lot of data that supports and research that supports that travel like really helps enhance creativity.
Yeah.
So I think that's why a lot of creatives are really attracted to the idea of working remotely or being or having a lot more travel in their life. So tell me what the structure is of your life back home, and how have you structured your life so that you because you're not permanently working abroad. So what's been the logistics of like what's the home, like what's the, I don't know what the word for it, like the real life, but not real life because this is it.
Yeah,
this
to
is
make
real
it,
life.
to make it possible.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to have this kind of job. It was a chance to get a job that I can carry it remotely. But I do have a house. I do have responsibilities. I have a house with a garden and everything, and I do. I live in Canada, so it needs during the winter to be shoveled. And what I did, I rent a room upstairs, and I picked a person that is very reliable, and he helps me with maintaining the house while I'm gone. And I have friends. I pay them a little bit just in case something breaks, but never happened, just one time.
Did you have the housemate? So is the housemate there all the time now?
Yes, he's all the time. So so he's having a room. Actually, he has now the whole house, so he's very happy.
Yeah.
So
does that mean like kind of that trade-off that when you go away, he gets the whole house, he's happy to do a little bit extra maintenance-wise?
Exactly.
Did you explicitly or arranged, like when he came, did he know that was the deal?
Yes, I did, and I told him
I
told him during the winter you will have to shovel because I might be gone, and little things if you need to fix, things that I don't have to hire somebody else. For example, a lock gets broken, or you need to fix, I don't know, not pipe, but if the taps are leaking, and he had no problem with that, and he did like a few times. But
and does that have the double advantage that you have also a little bit of income stream coming allows you to be able to be living somewhere else?
That's true.
So that's a great way of like for people who do like are in a position where they own their own home, that they can actually kind of be flexible and creative about how they're using that asset. Like it's not like you just have to save the money. Like you can kind of get that working for you.
I know people who are doing this. They rent an apartment, let's say with 2 rooms, and then they sublet a room while they are gone. So then they get extra income, so they can pay their stay, a little bit of their stay, and still have somebody to take care of their apartment, or if they have a condo, or and now it's very possible.
Do you have pets? This is that's a weird thought.
I do. I wish I always wanted a pet, but that's the price I pay. I can't have a pet because I'm traveling. I mean, you have to have very good friends to take care of the pets. Yes. Because I've been traveling last year like for 3 months, and this year again a month and a half. So I don't know. I won't be, because I had pets before, and I don't think I would be able to stay for like 3 months apart from a dog. From a pet. So that's the price I'm paying for now. I'm not. Everybody asking, well, why don't you buy a dog? I'm not ready to just not go anywhere.
Maybe.
So and sometimes you can travel. Some places you can have, but I don't think in this setting you can have a pet. With you.
Yes, I suppose that would be an option for someone if they wanted a pet. So what, if you think about it, like what kind of, were there any like sort of challenges or sacrifices, or like difficult parts of making the decision to have a more flexible lifestyle where you're, like, so it sounds like it's about like 8 months of the year you're in Canada and 4 months you're traveling. And I know for a lot of my clients that's a pretty close balance to, it might be a little, depending on like where they're at in their life, or if they've got kids or family, but a lot are at least looking for like 2 to 4 months of the year to be traveling. So, like I think most choices have a cost in a sense, or not necessarily a cost, but there's always a trade. Like you make a choice. So what has there been some challenge? Like has there been challenges? Have there been sacrifices, or not really?
No, not really, because it's for me it's very flexible. If things are not going well, or let's say I need to be home, I can anytime, because I got an open ticket. Anytime I can go home, and that's why, because I can expect something to happen, with my parents, or I didn't commit to like a full-fledged room where it's more costly. So I'm staying in a dorm, which is very cozy. It's only four girls. But still, if I had to cancel, I won't lose that much money. So that's why I'm trying to kind of balance. If I really need to leave, I know I have the liberty. I won't lose that much money. So I always.
So you've kept a lot of flexibility in the structure. Did people have any, like, did you find anyone had any, like, judgment when you said I want to do this, or did people, like, what was the reaction? What kind of reactions did you get? Envy,
a little bit of envy, and I mean, lots of people are very happy, but some, in a way, I don't want to advertise it too much, because some, they are like tied up, they cannot do it, and they wish they would, and you don't want to steer anything, oh, she can do that, she doesn't have any problem. And, you don't have to, like in my case, I don't have kids, so I don't have, some people would just say that I'm selfish, that I don't, buy a dog, or, have kids because I like to travel and have the liberty. But you can have all those and still do this.
You
so,
can.
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
a different. It's
just,
a different
yeah,
show. I have
yeah.
kids. I'm here,
Yes.
but I'm not here for 3 months.
Yes.
I'm here for a shorter time.
Yes. So. So during the vacation, probably you can do that with kids.
Yeah.
So you can have
you could take them
remote,
with
and
you.
and we have a pool here, and during the weekend, or maybe work part time.
Yeah.
So you can have part time working, because I'm taking like half days off on Fridays.
Yeah.
So I have like only 4 days and a half, and then I have a super long weekend.
Yeah. Great.
to enjoy. And I picked this month when it's like April in Canada. It's a little bit not winter, not summer, not spring, nothing.
Season.
So it's perfect
for the people. I mean, I suppose part of the reason that I want to make these videos is for those people who are who do feel like, oh, it's out of reach, because I think it might be out of reach. Not everyone's going to be able to do it the same way. There are other people I've spoken to, and the structure of how they've done it is completely different. Like, not everyone will own their own home and be able to leverage that, or not everyone won't, we're all going to have different kind of situations, which is why I wanted to share lots of different stories, because then people can pull out, okay, I could do this thing, or I couldn't do that thing. So what kind of how would you, what could you say that to encourage, or something, that would, help somebody, maybe possible, some of the kind of things that that you think someone could bear in mind that might help them to make
I think you have to start for just a few days, because this is how I started as a trial. Start for let's say you get just a week, and let's say you're gonna book your vacation that week, but you can try to work 2-3 days to see. This is how I started. I booked my vacation for a week, and then I took my laptop. Actually, I took 2 laptops just in case one breaks, and then I tried to work during the week for 2-3 hours per day to see if the connection is good and how do I feel about that. And then I thought, okay, it's working, so I extended another week, just a little bit to be sure, still with open ticket, just in case it didn't work. I still have time to go home. So depends on, and for expenses, I budgeted it at the beginning, because where I used to work, we had kitchens, so we cooked together. We bought groceries, so exactly like we are doing at home. And actually a lot of things are cheaper here, because the fruits and everything, it's much more cheaper than home. So I didn't go out that much at the beginning, because I didn't know exactly where and what was close, it was expensive. So you can, some people don't even, they cook all the time, so it's exactly like home. You don't spend that much time, but sometimes during the weekend you can just go and try the local cuisine as well, but even that one is not as expensive as it's back home. So I budgeted, and I just went little by little with every time giving me a way back right away. So open ticket, if something happens, I'm just flying back, and that's it.
And are you learning each time?
And each time I learn, and I learn from other, and this is how I learned about that hostel and this one. I just read about it, but I got the feeling of how it feels too. And some people, for example, first time I was staying for 4 weeks, and it was a little bit too much for me with that noise, but now I feel comfortable. I was thinking I won't stay that long, but now I'm feeling comfortable. So
I think that's kind of a great kind of space to leave it at as well, which is just to say you don't have to make this completely pull the rug out from under your life. You can start in small doses, and you can learn what works for you, because it's not there's just one way. There's not one way to, you find the way that works for you, so that you're not feeling envious, that you're actually feeling inspired. And that's what I kind of want to create in doing these videos, is to inspire people and say, all right, okay, I'm not in a, maybe you're not in a season of your life, or maybe you're not in a financial position, or something's not, you have parents you've got to look after, or your kids, or whatever's going on. but that you can do some of it, like just take some steps towards it, and then
just try
just
to get a
stretch a little bit longer.
Yes.
And even in these, like I know for myself, even on this trip, it has only been a short trip, but it's been like really fruitful. Like it's really better than better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So to take that kind of approach of like, be open, be flexible, give it a try. It doesn't have to be everything. You don't have to completely.
Yeah, and you learn a lot. You're never alone. Wherever you go, like in this kind of environment, every day people are coming in and out, and every day, like, you have to be open, even if you're shy. Because I see the other people kind of take you under the wing, because we are a community here, and if we see somebody who's staying aside, we kind of go and we check on them and ask questions and see what. So you would never be alone, and like you hear stories, and then you learn to kind of get more social and learn how to pull information from people around. So like we did, like we just started talking, and we're like on the same wave, so we're like both
we sort of like got in a chat, and I was like, hang on, I need to video this, like half of this conversation my clients need, and the other half you don't need to hear. We can finish that now. I'm going to push stop and we can go back to the other conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
So
and hopefully it's going to inspire some people out there, just to, even if it's in small steps, just move towards,
try it,
have a little taste of it. Just a little injection in your life for now is a great movement towards adding that flavor of freedom and diversity and meeting new people and injecting some energy in your life.
That's true.
Amazing. Thank you.